what the heck has happened to the Boy Scouts? Now, me personally, I just call them the Scouts now, not even the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
But you found this article here from the Daily Wire, and
Hmm.
it's just another little depressing thing.
Yeah, I mean, just reading through this art, I really haven't been paying that much attention to the Boy Scouts for quite a while because I think it says in 2018 they started to allow girls to join the Boy Scouts. So it was like, well, clearly it is just the Scouts at this point. And it's under this guise of inclusivity, which
Yeah.
is just a label like to pretty much destroy anything, particularly if it is an institution that has provided value or traditional value or has reinforced any kind of gender roles or has allowed men and women to strengthen their own unique qualities. Those seem to be the particular target of things when we talk about inclusivity. And I do have to say, it makes me really sad to see this happen because my brother was an Eagle Scout. And I remember, when we were growing up, he and my dad would go, we lived in Canada, they would go on these camping trips in like November in the
Oh
middle,
my
and part
gosh.
of their camping trip was to go out and they would have to like dig out their place that they were going to sleep in the snow. So it was kind of like a little, I don't remember what they called it. It wasn't like an igloo, but it was just like this. Yeah. Anyway, they would sleep in that. And, and I mean, they did all the things, they did everything. And I just remember, I have so many memories of that and feeling kind of bad for my dad most of the time, but they did it. And it was incredible to just see some of the skills that they would learn. But I don't remember ever feeling left out. Like that there was something keeping me from going on that camping trip in the snow. I was perfectly fine not to be a part of it. Um, but I think it's
And
just
girls are
one.
fine to go camping with their families, but you introduce a lot of unnecessary issues when you
Mm,
take young men and women out to go, oh, hey, let's go camp. Like it's hard
mhm.
enough to take mixed sex groups on school trips where there are overnight stays and individual hotel rooms, but like out in the woods, there's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, and I think, it's just again one of these things where it's just attacking anything that is going to reinforce positive gender roles. I understand people are going to say, well, the scouting programs have had its share of issues. They've had issues with predators getting involved in the programs and whatnot. And I think you can probably say that about any institution. But for the
Yep.
most part, the Boy Scouts of America has been known for being something for young men to teach them these things that they probably wouldn't learn otherwise and to give them the opportunity to do that with other boys, to have that separation and not have it be considered discrimination. And, at a time not that long ago when these programs have been particularly popular, no one ever thought of it as discrimination where women weren't part of it until someone told us to be offended about it. And because of that, I mean, all of these things are just going away. And it just makes me sad. Like, I don't know. I feel like we're losing so much by losing these programs. And it's not that women don't have the opportunity to go camping and to learn survival skills. That's why we've
Yep.
had Girl Scouts and we've had all of these other things. So when people say it's, we want equal opportunity, it's like we've already had those. We've always had equal opportunity. We've always had access to these things.
It's not about equality now. Now it's about usurpation. My theory with Boy Scouts and where it started to go off the rails, and we don't have to get into traditional gender roles and stuff like that. We can if you want to, but I am aware before I make this statement that there are single mothers. I get it, guys. Um, I think that this takeover, this usurpation, and woke indoctrination of Boy Scouts now, changed to Scouts BSA, Boy Scouts of America, now rebranding as just Scouting America. I think it started when they started letting women into the leadership of the individual troops. And it was this cutesy little thing. It started when I was a kid. I was a Boy Scout. I did not go all the way. I wanted to rebrand myself and be cool. So I did not get Eagle, which all of the best soldiers I ever had and I ever knew, they were all Eagle Scouts. So kind of regret that. But anyway, they started bringing these women in to do all this leadership stuff in the troops. And they were like, oh, it's cool. We have a den mother. It wasn't cool. It was inappropriate then. It was always inappropriate. There shouldn't have been, for these guide development activities, they never should have brought in women because things are categorically different. The classical philosophers, the geniuses of the world have always known this. Only now, only in this moment are we confused about what a woman is, about what a man is, about what femininity is and what masculinity is. Not to say that a man can't have feminine qualities or that a woman can't have masculine qualities, but a man can't be a woman and a woman can't be a man. Not just the ancillary characteristics, but the thing. A car can't be a bike. They're just not the same. So all that to say, a woman, except in the most exceedingly rare circumstance, maybe, but possibly just not at all, cannot teach a boy how to be a man. I'm unaware of a method of operating whereby that is achieved, especially with any degree of like repetition. Like, hey, this is the method. This is the method for single moms to teach boys to be men. The method is to get a good, godly, strong male figure in their life, who knows truth and who knows that men are supposed to jump on all of the grenades. When the war kicks off, the men are supposed to go and fight and die. And when there's plague and famine, the men are supposed to go and risk life, limb, eyesight, whatever, to go and deal with that. Not because women can't, because women and children shouldn't have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and just as another thought that I was having, I was listening to you, but the thought I had wasn't really related to that.
That's fine. Happens all the time. I know. No, just kidding.
I'm just being honest. Like, I was listening, but I wanted to just kind of present like another side to this.
Fire away,
this kind of just popped into my brain. This seems like this is another opportunity to continue to sexualize pretty much everything. Because when you go into the Boy Scouts of America, or you go into the Girl Scouts, the focus is the skill. The focus is the thing that you're learning. The focus is it's to build yourself. It's personal development. It's very specific. And I think, when we see this in sports as well, the focus is the skill. It's what you're learning. It's what you're developing. But when you generalize these things and you start to eliminate, male and female as separation, then you have to introduce this aspect of sexuality. Then there is suddenly this infusion of gender ideology, of, sexual preference. These conversations are now introduced into every place where they never existed before. And we've seen, just kind of the downfall when you do that to pretty much every aspect of society. So I think that's just another piece of the agenda.
That is so good. That's the piece. That is the pernicious thing that is happening. That goes back to the beginning with the subversion. You're 100% right. Yeah, that's... Yep. And they don't just do it to the Scouts. They do it to the workplace, and they do it to everything. Same thing with race. Like, you can't not see it. You can't ignore it. And it makes everything not about the thing it's supposed to be about. The industry, it's not about making the widget for Crest. It's not about making toothpaste. It's got to be about gender now. And it's like, wait, what does toothpaste have to do with gender? Well, we can't not talk about it. We have to address it. But we're supposed to be making toothpaste.
Yeah.
That's getting put on the back burner. But it's the thing. What are we doing?
Yep.
Oh, man. That's good. Is that in the article or did you just come up with that? That should
Oh,
be
I just
Daily
came up
Wire,
with
get
that
it
on my
together.
brain.
Yeah. Well, you need to
Yeah.
send them a rewrite, editor's note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys forgot something really important, but it's just amazing to me how
Oh,
they've
you
managed to
got to tweet that out.
shoehorn.
You got to
Huh?
tweet that out tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. That's so
Yeah.
good. We're supposed to be,
You're welcome.
oh hey, it's freezing out here and we're gonna teach you how to start a fire. But before that,
Yeah.
let's talk about pee-pees and wee-wees. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. They're like, let's bring out this book where we're talking about gender and talking about sexuality and talking about all of these things. And it's like, I don't understand how this is going to help me not die in the wilderness. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Well, the 9-year-old on the other side of this wall, he can and has made fires while it's actively raining outside. And all of these, not other boys, but men are like, you can't start a fire when it's raining because the wood is wet. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why does my 9-year-old know that inside wet wood is dry wood, but my 40-year-old colleague or friend doesn't? They're just defeated. Well, you can't light it because it's wet. And I'm like, can you split it and then split it again and then split it again and then get that
You know,
dry
the stuff
wood?
on the inside,
Like,
you can
what?
probably do something with that.
And I'm like, people really don't know this now. It's not, they're like,
No.
ooh, you're a survivalist. It's like, knowing how to start a fire with wet wood isn't a survival skill. It's like everyone in the rest of the world knows this. Are you serious?